In last week's session, I spoke about subject and object. Somebody, a viewer, looking at something, an object. It implies that the object is fixed, unchanging, and that I, as a viewer, simply absorb the object. I absorb details. I move around, I look at the object, and I can know the object. But yoga, an experiential subject, not a subject of machines, of scanning, of independent verification, an experiential subject. Over time, practitioners have recognized that there is something else going on. Not just I, an observer, looking at an object, but that I look at the same object, and over time or at different points in time, I notice different things. And sometimes the thing itself appears to have changed. And here they start to recognize the role of the senses. Because for me to observe an object, I don't just receive the object. I don't just open my eyes and the information comes. But I notice that my eyes are selective. As you often hear me say, that you and I stand side by side and we look out. And I think we're seeing the same thing. You notice the trees, I notice the buildings. We might be looking at the same view, but there is a level of selective viewing. Something sits between the seer and the seen. And that objects are not as fixed as they appear, because objects are perceived. If I put something in front of you, you look at it, but you place it against other things that you've known, things of similar type. And the example that I always use is my watch. I place a watch on the table and we both look at the watch. And both of us will say, we see a watch. And we say that because of other watches we've known. We perceive the object, but we don't perceive it absolutely in the here and now. We perceive it based on our memory, on our past. All objects are perceived, and therefore they are understood. They're not just perceived through the eyes, they're not just seen, but they are interpreted. But the same is true of an asana. We can look at the asana and we can say it's a trikonasana. But we can also feel the asana. What if I gave you no picture, but I gave you a set of sensations? And you'll say, that's a trikonasana. An object is perceived, understood, and therefore mind is involved. And the way mind sits affects what is seen, what is perceived. If I experienced back pain, and then you ask me to do an asana, I'm fearful. And any sensations which come from my back may be understood or perceived as painful. The state of the mind affects what is perceived. The object, whether it be my watch or a sensation in my body, the object exists. What is the perception? How is it understood? This is modern pain theory. Modern pain theory tells us that an experience of pain exists in the mind 100% of the time. It is your mind that experiences pain. The tissue itself does not. But this is understood by yoga. When you and I work in sensation, in asanas and with sensations, the state of the mind is absolutely the game.